And the final part of the potions and alchemy and all of that bit that I'm doing currently is effects and abilities. As you probably saw by the title, that's what we're doing today. This again is more of a show and tell, so we're going to jump straight into it. Obviously you can subscribe if you want to, and you won't miss out on any upcoming vids. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to split it into blocks, items and food, and then also mobs. Starting off the beacon, one of the most common ways to get effects and abilities in Minecraft. You can obtain beacons by killing the wither and using the wither to start to craft one. In this you can get dual abilities or singular abilities, or one ability with another. This is how you get haste 2. It's really useful for mining and just, well, everyday tasks in your Minecraft world. Regeneration is a really good one to have in your base as well. Now, what I find is that iron is the most common block that is used for this. However, obviously you can use all of these blocks here, including netherite, which would take you ages, but it can be worth the while. Emerald is also another common one, because obviously once you've got a trading hall or a raid farm set up, you're pretty much good. Iron farm, or just mining in general. So let's get on to magma. First of all though, we're going to use its counterpart, soul sand. This allows you to breathe underwater when making bubble elevators, but all the water has to be full water source blocks. And also it doesn't give you any damage, but yeah, it gives you water breathing. As you can see, for both these bits, I am in survival. So just to show you that this does actually work, we're just going to jump in right away. And what this will do is again give you water breathing, but you will take damage unless you do a crouch. So if you crouch on magma in Minecraft, you don't take damage, but if you don't, as you can see, I was taking damage there. So it's imperative that you crouch, but also this is really good for deep sea mining. Next is the conduit, which is in turn related to the blocks that I showed before. It's made by surrounding a heart of the sea with nautilus shells in a crafting table. And the hearts of the sea, they can be found in treasure chests, which are found by using treasure maps, which are found in sunken ships. The conduit, when placed in a certain prismarine structure, allows you to breathe underwater, and it sort of works like a beacon. There's an extended like box around it that you can swim in with water breathing, and these are really good for underwater bases or any sort of underwater based farms or things that you've got going on. So the others, Toads of Undying, they have to be in your hand or your offhand for them to work, as suggested by the name. They stop you from dying once. They essentially give you an extra life. These are really good in combat and fight, especially when you're really low on health and you die. But yeah, let's move on to the, I think we're gonna do maybe now turtle shells. Now, when you nurse a turtle to health all through its life, it will drop something called scoot. These scoots can then be used to make a turtle shell, which can then be used to make a helmet out of the turtle shell, which grants water affinity, which allows you to breathe underwater for extended periods of time, which is, well, quite good actually. Now moving on to a slightly bigger section, which is arrows. Yes, next we have something called tipped arrows. These are found in the armory section of your inventory, and like the potions, they all have their own leveled up bits, and they're all the same as the potions. So whatever hostile mob or normal mob or your other players or yourself that you hit with it, it will give that thing or yourself that effect. Okay, so now the foodie items. Starting with the spider eye, if you eat it, it will give you poisoning, because obviously they're not fit for human consumption, because they're spider eyes. Next is the chorus fruit. This will grant you random teleportation. It doesn't give you an actual effect, but it is quite useful in dangerous situations if you're willing to give it a try. Next up is rotten flesh. Now, in my opinion, this should give you poisoning, but it gives something called hunger, which is essentially poisoning for your hunger bar. It takes it down until you have half a hunger bar left, and basically just keep eating while you have this. The poisonous potato, as suggested by name, poisons you. These can be commonly found when you're farming your potatoes. Now, gapples or enchanted gapples, which stands for golden apples, give you resistance, fire resistance, and regeneration, as well as strength. And enchanted golden apples are essentially the leveled up version. Now, milk in this game is disregarded quite a lot, but it is so crucial when it comes to potions. It gets rid of any effects, any abilities, except beacons. I don't know why you want to get rid of beacons, but it is so crucial. And now for the reason why milk is so important, the mobs. First of all, obviously we have the Ender Dragon and the Wither. So the Wither will give you withering effects or decay effects, which basically takes down your hearts. It's the opposite of regeneration, and it will kill you unless you have milk on you. The Ender Dragon spits something called Dragon's Breath, because it is a dragon, which is sort of like purple acid that damages you. It doesn't give you an actual effect, but you can collect it in a bottle. So dolphins are a special one because in Java Edition, if you sprint in water with dolphins, it will give you something called like dolphin speed, and it makes you faster when you're in water. It isn't a thing in Bedrock though, but I would like to see it be added. Next is cave spiders. You can get poisoning from these guys, and they can be found in mineshaft, in cave spider spawners. They are only hostile if you attack them first though. Now, shulkers, these nasty buggers, give you levitation by hitting you with floating projectiles, which is why it's very good to have slow falling on you when you get hit by one of them. The Elder Guardian is yet another menace, and is sometimes regarded as a boss in the game. These guys give you mining fatigue, which is the direct opposite of haste. It makes your mining much slower and so freaking painful. Bring milk with you when you're fighting these guys. Then we have the actual Wither skeleton, which is essentially the same as the Wither, which gives you the withering or decay effects, which is the opposite of regeneration. It takes down your hearts and it can kill you unless you have milk. The Warden, one of the newest mobs added to the game, it can cause blindness when attacking you, so that you're not aware of your surroundings and it has more of a chance to strike. Now my most hated mob in the game, witches. They can throw any potion they want at you, and it's mostly the bad ones. Instant damage, poisoning, and the thing is they can actually regen themselves, which is a trait you don't see in other mobs except bosses. Pufferfish are actually passive-aggressive mobs, as in real life, when you get too close or when they feel threatened, they will puff up and they will poison you, but it is a self-defense mechanism, so don't feel too bad about it. The Stray is a nasty variant of the skeleton. They shoot slowness arrows, which makes you easier to kill for them, and they're mostly found in frozen areas, which is why they're sort of the colder variant of skeletons. And finally on the list, I think we have husks. So they are a variation of zombie. They live in the desert, and like rotten flesh, when they hit you, they actually give you hunger, which takes your hunger down. And in hard mode, this can actually kill you. Not having enough food can kill you in hard mode, which is why it's essential to eat or have milk on you at this time. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all the effects and abilities I can think of. Obviously, if I have missed any out, you can let me know down in the comments. And while you're down there, you can consider subscribing, because I have actually got a lot more building tutorials coming up soon. I've got some special Christmas stuff coming up. I might even try some gingerbread building. That could be quite fun. But yeah, I'll see you all later, and goodbye. Also, on one quick note though, all the potion recipes will be coming out soon in shorts form as well.